He grew up in a dusty border town, where the river cut through neighborhoods and life moved between survival and routine. His grandfather owned a small mechanic shop on a dirt road, the kind of place where engines spoke louder than people. By the age of 11, he was already behind the wheel of an old pickup truck that fought every turn, learning control the hard way. His grandfather used to say that if you could handle a machine like that, you could handle anything. When the old man died suddenly in the shop, still gripping a wrench, something in the boy hardened. At 15, he stepped into the world alone, carrying grief like a silent passenger. He found work at a tire shop, fixing brakes and aligning wheels, keeping himself constantly busy to avoid thinking about loss. Speed became his escape. By 17, he was racing on empty industrial roads at night, not relying on power like others, but on precision and control. He understood the rhythm of movement, when to brake, when to turn, how to shift weight. While others chased speed, he calculated it. Soon, no one wanted to race him anymore. Winning had made him invisible in a different way. That's when a man approached him with an offer, simple, quiet, and dangerous. Driving jobs, no questions asked. The money was more than he could make in weeks, and his family needed it. He agreed, telling himself it would be just once. But one job became many. He learned quickly that the work wasn't about speed, it was about blending in. Normal cars, normal routes, no mistakes. He became a ghost in traffic, following precise instructions, moving people and packages across cities and borders without drawing attention. Over time, he wasn't just driving, he was planning. Routes, timing, patterns. He knew every street like a map inside his mind, every delay accounted for. His reliability earned trust, and trust brought him deeper into the system. The money improved his family's life, but it came with silence, questions left unasked, truths left unspoken. He told himself it was just driving, just work, but the jobs began to change. Injured men, emergency runs, situations that didn't leave room for doubt. The line between driver and accomplice blurred. One night, he picked up a man fleeing violence, sirens echoing in the distance. Driving through dark streets, passing ordinary families eating dinner, he realized how close his world ran alongside another, normal life just feet away, separated by choices. Still, he kept going. It became routine. The fear dulled, replaced by habit. He told himself he didn't need context, only a destination. But cracks began to form. A fellow driver was arrested. Another job involved transporting people, families, not criminals. Sitting behind the wheel of a van filled with silent fear, he felt something shift inside him. For the first time, the weight of what he was doing wasn't just mechanical, it was human. He couldn't ignore it anymore. Soon after, everything unraveled. Law enforcement had been watching, tracking movements, building a case. One day, an agent sat in his car and laid out his entire life like a report. Every route, every crossing, every secret exposed. The choice was simple but brutal: cooperate or lose everything. He thought about his family, about the people he had seen, about the path he was on. And he made the call. What followed was swift. Arrests across multiple cities, operations dismantled, people taken down. His identity disappeared into a sealed file. He was relocated, given a new name, a new life in a quiet place far from everything he knew. Now, he worked a simple job, moving machines slowly across a yard, a life reduced to safe, controlled movements. At night, he still drove. Not for money or purpose, but for silence. No routes, no timing, no pressure, just the road ahead and the memory of who he used to be. Because in the end, it was never the violence or the headlines that made everything possible. It was the driver, the one who made the system work, who stayed unseen. And when it was over, all that remained was the road, and the knowledge that being good at something doesn't mean it was worth the cost.